Ripple is becoming a bank. What does it even mean for a blockchain company to become a bank? And more importantly, what does that mean for XRP? Because if Ripple succeeds in this transformation, XRP isn't just going to explode, it's going to evolve into something we've never seen before. And no, this isn't clickbait. This is what Wall Street doesn't want you to figure out until it's too late. So stay with me, because this might be the most important XRP video you'll ever watch. Quick question. What do you get when you combine crypto tech with banking licenses, liquidity corridors, and real-time settlement infrastructure? You get a monster the legacy system can't compete with. Ripple's not playing by the rules anymore. They're writing them. And XRP, it's the engine. So buckle up, we're going deep. Before we talk about Ripple becoming a bank, let's rewind. Ripple started as a disruptor. The idea, kill Swift. Replace it with faster, cheaper, more transparent cross-border payments. XRP was never meant to be just a coin. It was a bridge, a neutral, trustless asset to connect global liquidity. And while Bitcoin was fighting the Fed, Ripple was walking into the boardrooms of central banks. Smart or selling out? Depends who you ask. But here's what matters. Ripple saw the long game. And now, after over a decade of building, lobbying, and surviving lawsuits, Ripple is preparing to do something unprecedented. Let's break this down. Ripple recently acquired a crypto custody firm called Metaco. Not a hype move, a strategic one. Then they applied for key regulatory licenses in multiple jurisdictions. We're talking about digital asset licenses, money transmitter licenses, potentially even full-scale banking charters. And the latest twist, Ripple is rumored to be building its own institutional-grade liquidity hub, not just for crypto, but for tokenized real-world assets. What does that sound like to you? A bank. A next-gen, blockchain-native, globally connected, hyper-liquid bank. Let me ask you something serious. What happens when Ripple becomes the first company to blend regulatory compliance, blockchain speed, and institutional money, all in one ecosystem? Here's the truth. No one's saying. The traditional banking systems is running out of time, and they know it. That's why they're quietly watching Ripple. Because if this works, it won't just disrupt banking. It will make XRP holders early stakeholders in the most radical evolution of finance in 100 years. Now let's zoom out. Why is Ripple doing this? Why not stay a payments company? Because payments are just the first domino. Once you control the rails, you control what moves on top of them. Tokenized securities, CBDCs, real estate, bonds, derivatives, everything becomes programmable. Everything becomes liquid. And XRP becomes the universal translator of value. Fear? If Ripple succeeds, the old guard loses control. Excitement? This is the opportunity of a lifetime, if you see it before everyone else does. Now here's where it gets juicy. If Ripple becomes a bank, what happens to XRP? First, XRP gains legitimacy. Institutions already trust Ripple, but now they'll start trusting XRP, not just as a liquidity token, but as an integral piece of modern finance. Second, regulatory clarity. The SEC case was a war, and Ripple won the key battles. With clarity comes confidence, and with confidence comes capital. Third, scarcity meets demand. Only 100 billion XRP exist. Most are already locked up, lost, or held long-term. When institutions start moving billions through XRP daily, do the math. But what happens after Ripple becomes a bank? Here's the scary and thrilling part. That's just the first layer. The next phase is tokenization. Ripple is already talking about a world where every asset, from houses to hedge funds, can be tokenized and traded in seconds. And XRP, It's not just the bridge, it's the universal settlement layer. What SWIFT did for banks, XRP will do for everything. And if you're here early and now you're not an investor, you're part of a financial revolution. Let's pause and breathe for a second. Ripple isn't becoming a bank because it wants to join the old system. It's becoming a bank to replace it. The tools are ready. The tech is mature. The vision is global. And XRP holders, you're sitting in front of a moment that your future self will either thank you for or regret missing. Because this isn't just about price, it's about power, positioning, and possibility. The next chapter of XRP starts now, and the next move is yours. Now, if you want to understand how we got here and what shaped XRP into what it is today, don't stop here. Click this next video to watch the entire story of XRP, from zero to global adoption. It'll change the way you see everything, and it just might prepare you now for what comes next.